Before we get into the episode, I am thrilled to announce that the EntreMD Business School is open for enrollment. The EntreMD Business School is the only school of its kind for physicians who want to build 6, 7, and multiple 7-figure businesses. Over the last 2 years, we have had hundreds of doctors go through the school with unbelievable results. Some of them run brands, some of them run private practices, some of them are coaches, some have other kinds of service-based businesses or product-based businesses. And we've had people come in and cross the 6-figure milestone, cross the 7-figure milestone, cross the multiple 7-figure milestone. You will be in a place where you'll get the coaching, the community, the accountability that you need to thrive as an entrepreneur, especially in the times that we're in. So maybe you've been following me for a while. Maybe you've been getting so much out of the EntreMD podcast and you've been wondering, how can I work with Dr. Una and the community more? Well, this is your chance. Come join us in the EntreMD Business School. It is application only. So go to entremd.com/business to turn in your application. I cannot tell you how many doctors have made statements like this. I recovered my investment in the first week. I recovered my investment in my bank account in the first 90 days. This is the best investment I've made in myself ever. I want you to have that kind of story, not just a story of building a great business that serves a lot and earns a lot, but having a business that gives you the freedom to live life on your terms. So don't wait any longer. entremd.com/business. And now for the episode. Hi, docs. Welcome to the EntreMD podcast, where it is all about helping amazing physicians just like you embrace entrepreneurship so you can have the freedom to live life and practice medicine on your terms. I'm your host, Dr. Una. Well, hey, surprise. This is a bonus episode because today's my birthday. I've finally turned 41. This is super, super exciting. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to come have a conversation with my tribe, my people, and then I'll go off and continue with this celebration. So, I'm super happy. And I'm going to kind of share with you what I do on my birthday. I'm not a big party, make a lot of noise kind of person, but if you are, I'm not saying you shouldn't be. I'm just an introvert, so it's just not my thing. But there is something I do on my birthdays, which is to pause and think, reflect a little bit. And I sat down to think about it. And I think I love what I have. I have really great relationship with God, which is very important to me. And I've been at this point married for 13 years to my best friend, Steve. And we've had a really good run, really great run. We have 4 amazing kids and, they're just my joy. Just absolute joy. The oldest is 11, the youngest is 4, and they're just everything. And I think about it and, one of them has had some health challenges, but that was, right around when she was born, and she's a whole miracle by herself. Maybe someday I'll share that story, but they've all been healthy and they're all doing great in school and they have great relationships among each other. And then with us, their parents, and it's just lovely to watch. I'm grateful I have them. At this point, I've been a pediatrician for 12 years, over a decade. I still sometimes feel 16, so it's odd saying it, but, but I have been. And I've been the CEO of my practice now. This is our 10th year. And, as someone who's an introvert and had no business skills really at all, that's a miracle in itself. And Ivy's like my 5th child, if you will. And I'm so proud of her. We've been voted best of Gwinnett 5 years in a row. And last year was a really good year for us. We got on a new practice administrator, really great. She's doing a fabulous job. And we worked on the systems, and we've done some projects outside of the exam room, and that's been really huge and been really good to see. I work there 2 days a week, and it's great, And EntreMD is barely 2 years old at this point, but EntreMD really is a reflection of what the second phase of my career is, because I'm at a point where I'm really living for significance. Now, significance not to say trying to make myself important, but really leaving a legacy, helping other people. I'm at a point where it's about helping other people. It's about helping other people become the best version of themselves. Now, for a physician entrepreneur, what that would mean is you want to start a business. You're like, this is what I really need to do. And that's just helping you, whatever that business is, to make that idea or that dream reality. And to watch that happen, to have the privilege of watching that happen in tens and tens and tens of doctors is it's really mind blowing. It really is. And if there's anything that I celebrate today, really is the difference I've been able to make in the lives of others. That's what I mean by significance. It's people who had ideas but couldn't figure out how to start a business who have businesses now, or people who had businesses that were running at a loss who are now thriving entrepreneurs, or people who had one and they've been able to scale it and build another vertical. And it just blows me away because that's what it's about. And I want you to start thinking of your life in terms of legacy. Like, what am I leaving behind? What am I going to be known for as far as what did I do? Who did I help? You want to start thinking in those terms. And, that's kind of how I'm thinking at this point. And as I turn 41, I'm thinking, so for this chapter, how many people am I going to be able to help? So when you send me those messages to say, this is what happened when I listened to this episode of the podcast, or I finally started this business because I started this podcast, or Doc, this now I don't even feel the physician burnout anymore because I'm applying these things I learned from the podcast, or like those kind of things. That's like everything, because that's what this phase of my career is for. It's to help other doctors, to help them build thriving businesses. So for my birthday, I don't really want gifts in that type of term or in those kinds of terms. But what I would like is for you to share on your social media platform, whatever platform that is, or group you're in, or whatever, how this podcast has helped you, and ask your friends to subscribe, right? So whatever it's been, it's helped you. If it hasn't helped you at all, please don't post anything, right? I'm not asking you to make stuff up, but if it's helped you in any way, I want you to post like, hey, check out this, I started listening to this podcast and this is what happened, or this is a change I made, or this is something that was an issue that's not there anymore. And, I really want you to subscribe to it and you'll really love it. And you can throw in a happy birthday there. That's fine. But that's what I would love. Share about how this podcast has helped you and ask your friends to subscribe. And I'm also going to ask you to, if you haven't got your tickets for Atlanta, I want you to get your tickets for Atlanta to come for EntreMD Live. It's going to be June the 13th, 2020. And if you legit cannot come, let's say you have a kid who's graduating, or, you're getting married that day, please don't come. If you're doing any of that, then I want you to buy a ticket for someone else, right? There, many times I've heard people say, man, I wish I learned this my final year in residency. And there are a number of residency programs in Atlanta, and I would gift those tickets to one of their final year residents. So if you're like, I believe in what you're doing, I support what you're doing, I would have been there, it is just impossible for me to be there, then I want you to buy a ticket to support someone else. And we'll let them know who their sponsor is, and we'll give you a shout out, except you're totally opposed to it. But I want you to do that. And that will make my birthday really, 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 really happy. But, I just wanted to hop on here and kind of give you a feel for how I think. And I want you to maybe do that too. Maybe something you adopt and, you start off that day with gratitude, but you also think, I'm not just alive for me, I'm alive for others. What kind of impact do I want to leave in their life? So happy birthday to me. I'm going to go off and go celebrate with my people. And I'm sure I'll be in tears when I'm reading all the stuff you guys put out there of how the podcast has helped you. And thank you so much for helping me spread the word, because, I've always shared my BHAG. I do want to help 80,000 doctors. So when you spread the word, that helps me do what I do. So thank you for being a part of my tribe. Thank you for listening to the podcast. Thank you for taking action and doing what you need to do to be the best version of yourself. I'm really looking forward to a big celebration in June when we're all together at the EntreMD Live event. And then I'll see you then. So thank you. And thank you for telling me happy birthday. I'll see you next week. If you love this podcast, please take a moment to subscribe, share, and review it on iTunes. As you go about your week, remember, you're not just an MD, you're an EntreMD. Don't forget to tune in next week for another great episode. Until next time.